This is a mini lesson analysis on Marth versus Puff. Okay, even though you're at zero, it really wasn't that bad because like it didn't knock you down and you held down. But that is the general rule of thumb is at 5% it can give Puff something, so you should respect that. But it was also like it's never a bad idea to also try to respect that in this get-go, so you could get like an easy nair. That being said, like what happened is fine. Like Puff pounding you at zero is very positive for you. One thing you do need to just like I always like a level one check is just like, not getting hit by stuff like this. Like just like the level one basic approaches from Puff. I don't know what this down tilt is really trying to accomplish when you see Puff is like jumping from the ledge at you. So definitely at least like not getting hit by that is good. And I do want to point out that while this down tilt is fine, because like, it is covering Puff crouching, don't over spam that because it does have the inherent risk of Puff just short hop attacking you. That is like the mix up. And if they are very obvious to their crouch, then of course down tilt is fine. But I want you to just like not over tunnel on down tilt. Like you see there, like when you down tilted here, I feel like you just tunneled with like a wave dash in and they just short hop aerialed you. Alright, that was something. I feel like that forward smash definitely could have ended a lot worse. Just know that like stuff like this is a mix-up, and you have to assess that, is this forward smash going to kill? It's not. Especially if they do survival DI against Tipper, it's not going to kill. And the risk is like, you could get rested. And that's something that you constantly need to assess whenever you are juggling Puff is the read that you're going for gonna outweigh, like, is it positive expected value? Like, you have to weigh, is the risk reward worth it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you weigh something like say, what was one that stuck out to me? So yeah, doing this like short hop forward fair, for example, how would I rate something like this? This is like, I would rate this as like, the risk is like, I don't know, like, you're not at knockdown percent at bear, which is around 40, so it's not that risky, but at the same time, like, why are you giving Puff 3%? I guess I would rate this as like a 5, 6 maybe in terms of risk. The reward is like 3, because like you're not really comboing Puff. Maybe you could land a really sick fair to dare here, but like you're dreaming. I think on average the punish is like a 3 at that on average. And then there's 2 more dimensions that you need to consider, which is the reliability and coverage. Like, what does short hop forward fair cover? It would cover most reliably if Puff just short hops directly at you. It does not cover, Puff crouching, shielding. It doesn't really cover Puff going away at you. It doesn't cover Puff directly attacking you because you're doing a late fair. And it comes down to like how you rate reliability. Reliability is like kind of like the X factor of, even if on paper it's like not good, if you know the Puff's soul, then it's okay to go even like traditionally bad expected value options, as the mix up, but never as a default. And what I'm seeing here with doing for something like short hop forward fair on paper, I just think that like when you rate reliability, I just like take perspective and Puff and just like what's like the gut reaction that you would go with. Like, what do you think the Puff players should do? If it's something like, retreat or immediately attack, then automatically the reliability rating's not very high. Like, I would maybe rate it like maybe a 2 out of 10. And when you weigh that, the risk reward, it's not really in your favor. It doesn't really cover that much. It's not very reliable. That's negative expected value. So therefore, you just getting hit immediately off of this, that's expected. That like you will just lose if you make a play like that. And you trade a little bit of down smash. That's not what you love though. Something else to consider is when you go for something like a full double jump bear, up air here. I think the risk of that is like, now that you're at 42%, I think the risk of that is like a 9 or a 10, because now you could get, fucking fucked, H-box style, where the Puff can potentially chain like a lot of back airs now. The reward, on the other hand, is like a 1. You just get an up air. Sick, bro. The coverage is like, again, not very good considering Puff has like 5 jumps, good drift. You're only covering like one very specific spot. The coverage is a 1. The reliability also is like, if Puff has all those jumps, why would she hang around there? I also think the reliability is 1. So this is very negative EV, and you just happen to not get punished here. But, it could have happened that the Puff could have just wall of pained you to death. And let's talk about something like this, where like, yeah, the reward is like, the forward smash reward is not a 10 because it won't kill. If it was a tipper, then maybe I would actually think about it. But because it won't actually kill, and obviously the risk is a 10 because like they could just rest you for this and you can't kill them possibly. Well, maybe you could kill them, but it's very hard to consistently. As well as like, it comes down to how reliable do you think this is, covering, some specific set of options. And I don't think it's reliable enough for me to feel comfortable taking that risk. And I do think on average, the expected value of forward smashing this as a mix-up is not in your favor. So that's like half the battle when it comes to knowing, picking your spots versus Puff is like, is the expected value worth it whenever, you're going for a play after being in an advantage spot? Because you are in an advantage, generally speaking, because expected values are in your favor. However, unfortunately for you as a Marth player, and for other Marth players listening to this, is that you like the value of going for something like, forward smash, up air, generally is not very high. You need to look for other kind of expected values where, maybe the reward's not very high, but at least the risk is low. The reliability is very high. The coverage is very high. And then eventually you will find some other higher reward spots like, finding the mix up of a dash grab, getting the back hit of up tilt once they're at 100%, or God forbid you kill them at like 200. But, as long as the expected value works out, then it works out. Unfortunately, you're trying to like force positions a little bit too much where, trying to force a position against Puff and other floaties in general just generally isn't going to go your way. And I'm not going to explain the other positions as much in depth because then it would take way too long. But that's like kind of like the, that's how I intuitively call out certain positions. Like, yeah, this is like not good what you just did. Like that Nair down tilt, in my opinion, doesn't justify the risk reward. That S smash it did doesn't justify the expected value of, landing stuff like that forward smash. Like, really weigh the expected value in terms of risk reward and the reliability and coverage. And that's why you lose the stock, is because on average you will probably get punished in a reversal for that. You were too close to short hop Nair range, which is why, short hopping forward close to Puff is generally negative EV. And of course, by the way, you could break these rules if you understand like the reliability of, if you think like, when you adapt to your opponent's habits, that's where like reliability can really change like traditionally positive or negative EV moves. But you have to know the opponent, obviously. Also, you should have grabbed there, not forward tilt. Yeah, again, I don't think if that forward smash isn't killing, I don't think you should ever be going for something like that. You should up B there. Yeah, up B to the top platform. It's very low risk. You could even up B there again if you really wanted to. Yeah, that's... You should have kind of seen that coming, honestly, because like that's all he just crouched, man. Yeah. Unfortunate. At least try to space for forward smash or tipper down smash. At least try, because that's just guaranteeing not kill. That was cool though. Please DI away. No, if you DI away, Puff can't get a follow-up. And yeah, you really gotta, this is, part of the whole expected value kind of thing, is that like Puffs generally like to pound here because if, their expected value of landing a pound can sometimes be positive. It's not always the case, but sometimes it's positive. So in your case, you gotta defend against something like this because while you could go in, the worst case scenario is getting hit by pound, and if you're not respecting that, then you could just die from arrest. Also, if you land a forward smash, but like the risk is very low, then it's fine. Like for example, landing that forward smash is fine because there was actually no risk of doing that. So I do want to make some distinction of like what's a good forward smash and a bad forward smash. No, did that way too late. Like I get that you reacted to this, but like you reacted way too late. Please try at least try it. No, man, you gotta at least try to tipper down smash. Flop. It's making me a little bit nervous, but it's not the worst thing it could do. That one's at least like of all the forward smashes it did, at least this one was respectable because like it looked like it could tipper, so like that's fine. Also, what I think you could do here is like instead of pivot grab, you could also pivot up. You could like go for an up B here. I think that's also fine. But this grab is fine too if you immediately did a way dash forward smash. Could also run up side B. Puff can't sweet spot to the ledge, so if you run up side B up tilt and a percent that would kill, that's ideal. Also, that down smash was really bad. So yeah, keeping in mind of expected value when you have advantage is key to like, besides like fishing for a dash grab pivot forward smash, calculating what you think is positive expected value in positions like that will be how you beat Puff in, I guess the quote unquote honest way.